Guys, so after months of planning, 2 months to be exact, the day has finally arrived. It's time to go to the village as her firstborn child and the one majorly responsible for the funeral. I had to be there 4 days before the burial. So here I am. I went there. My workers went above and beyond. They came, they loaded up everything on the truck, and then they went with me to my village, and they stayed with me and worked their asses off till we were done. And then the truck, right, I paid nothing for the truck. A customer of mine, Alaji, as his way of helping, he's gonna give me his truck for me to take. So I took freezer, everything, and all I was responsible for was to buy fuel. And I was so grateful. Like, I don't know what I would have done without my workers. Like, I didn't grow up in our village, and I didn't know that when you have a funeral, like, people in my village don't get involved. They stay there and watch you. So my workers did everything from setting up canopy, from getting my mom's coffin in Swedro, for everything, serving guests on the Saturday. Oh my goodness, they were so amazing. And that's what I always say, it pays to be nice to your workers. I am so nice to them, and this Christmas is going to be a special kind of Christmas. I have something planned for them. I don't know how to repay them, but I'm going to continue buying them what they need. So basically, the funeral was at 3 places. This is my mom's house where we are right now. We're sitting in front of her house. And then my grandma's house where is the family house. And then, of course, I rented a guest house. So I was doing my stuff there. So my workers were like shuffling things back and forth between the 3 houses. So this was the Friday, and my grandma's church members came there with gift of food, water, a little bit of everything. And that same Friday evening, we went to Swedro to get my mom's coffin. That's where she is. Family members are crying. That's my auntie. And yeah, and then later on in the evening, we went to the mortuary to bring her body home. And when they brought her home, then we take her to the family house where there's a room. You just put her there, and then they do some type of a memory. I have no idea. And then as the first child, I was called to sprinkle water at the bottom of a foot like 3 times, and then they were saying some type of stuff. And then after that, they dressed her up, and then we wrapped her up, new clothes, old clothes, a bit of your stuff for you to take with you. So after they do that, then they wrap you back up, and then my workers came and carried her to the community center where her bed was ready and her coffin was there at the time. I picked it up in the red truck to take it to the community center, so where her bed will be. So they will eventually put her on the bed, and then later before her burial, they put her in the coffin, and then we say our goodbyes, and that's it. So I stayed up Friday all night to help get my mom dressed. So I went to bed very late. I woke up very early Saturday because that's when the funeral was actually happening. So there was a lot to be done. So this was early in the morning, Friday morning. These elderly ladies, they are in charge of the graze, so they came there. I spent 2,000 Ghana cedis on these, like multiple of stuff, and these ladies came and said it's not enough, the tray is small, we need couple can of Milo and milk and loaves of bread. And I'm like, what? And then in the morning, I had a pile of people there. As much as I spent doing grocery shopping, I was also buying as I was in the village. So I told them I am not buying anything else. That's all I'm giving, and that's it. And then one lady got angry. She's like, well, she's my sister, so she's not gonna do it. I'll finish. I said, the money I have, I just bought breakfast for extra guests that are popping up. So I do not have money to go buy 2 other cans of powder. Those are not necessary things. People need to eat, and they didn't get me. So it was a big sting. They were upset, but people explained to me that I wasn't used to that culture, and it was so annoying. Like, why do you need a loaf of bread in a graze in the basket? Like, why? My mom is obviously not going to eat those things. Why do you need a can of Milo and all that? You're not going to put in her coffin. So all these stuff that was in a graze, like 99% of them are kept for themselves. So I thought it was so unnecessary. And of course, I had the money to go buy them the Milo and whatever. But I was thinking, Yes, I'm lucky enough to have the money to buy things as you ask. What about the poor woman that lost her mom and lost her dad, and she's already grieving and she's doing all these things, and you have her buying Milo and all these things that are not needed? So I was thinking about people that don't have the money, but obviously I was fighting on my own, but I don't care. I still didn't give them the extra money. So my grandma, just to save face, she gave the lady money to go buy all those things, and I'm like, that's her business. Because I feel like I need to fight for those who can't afford to buy all these things. That those things are not needed. Funeral is expensive. I spent thousands and thousands of Ghanaian cedis, and a graduate is why the big deal? And she's not even going to take those things with her. So yes, the funeral went on the Saturday. After, in the morning, we buried her, we came home, and then the afternoon we met in the community center. We did, the normal funeral things, and then it was time to say goodbye. We went and said goodbye. It was such a sad moment, but yeah, that's what we did. And then the next day after that, we have to sit and talk about the family, how much each member spent, and then yeah, basically that's what happened. And after that, I came home and I'm back to living my life, and I still can't believe she's no more. It's so sad, but it is what it is. I pray that she's resting in peace. I know she's not in pain, because she was really in pain for the few months that she was sick. Her breathing was awful. She struggled to breathe. Oh, yeah. So I know she's no longer in pain, but I miss her so much. She was a lovely, lovely lady. Yes, I did not grow up with her all my life, but she was always happy. She was always like just a happy, bubbly person. She'll give the shirt off her back to anyone. She was a great grandma, and I'm glad I got to spend the last 2 years of her life here in Ghana. Although I didn't see her every day, but we were talking. She would be calling and asking about my business. Now I just miss her calling and saying, how is the farm? How is this? How is that? I can never have that. And I don't have anyone calling and checking on me and excited about my business ventures. No one cares, just my mom. But I take comfort in knowing that whenever I'm in my truck, she's with me, because that's where she died. And I just take comfort in that. And I miss her, and I work really, really hard to make sure she had a befitting burial. And she was a typical African mom. She wanted everything for her funeral, and we granted her most and all. So may she rest in peace, and until we meet again, I'll forever think about fond memories. And yeah, and see my workers. They're the one. My mom is obese, so she was heavy. Her coffin was huge. Like, people were saying they've never seen a coffin this huge. Yes, it was custom made. And my workers carried her from the morgue to the family house, from the family house to the community center, and then put her in the coffin. And then we went to the burial site. They were carrying all her coffin and everything. I really don't know what I would have done without my workers. I'm so blessed that God put them in my life, and they've been able to step in and help me at the time that like when they wanted to go to the funeral. They're like, mommy, madam, we want to come. Like, no. Why would you want to come to my mom's funeral? You don't even know her. Like, she's like, no, Ghana, that's how it's done. And I'm so glad I took them up on the offer. I would have been a sad person. So they were amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, smile. Bye. The next slide is one of my last conversation with my mom. You can tell she was very, very sick from her voice, and she was still interested in what's going on in my life. She wasn't getting any better, so I brought her to Cape Coast and died less than a week later.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, yeah, they're No, much of a crampo.
Every sister, I shut your move. And let's say I mean, if you know, my great area, Masha Mata, I'm if you. And I don't want to say you.
Me, what's wrong? That's up them to laugh. What's wrong?
Yeah,
that's about all way.
I mean, I don't be on way. That was weird. Okay, yeah, may I say? Ah, you're good.
Good. Why?
I say, why inside Nayaba Plaston? Yeah, Miss Papa also there, or yeah, one of mammy who enjoy shut up about Sunday and John in a waka. Yeah. Ah, what good warrior, man, one from them, but me who good warrior. Yeah. Yeah, me Adam. It should be Emma. Okay. Bye.